And welcome to the first edition of Lander Valley Soccer coverage here at WyoToday.com. Hey, I'm Rusty Wirtz, and I'll be the voice of the Lady Tigers and Tigers this season. And we begin today. It's a gorgeous day, about 50 degrees outside, and the sun is shining. I've been in radio for about, 6 or 7 years now. I've never called soccer. I have covered several sports. This will be a first for me, but I'm so excited to see these kids throughout the season. And right now, playing off against Jackson. We're going to take a timeout here in just a second, but we're going to see where they're going with the ball. Jackson getting a foot on it right off the kick from the center circle. And we're going to go through some starting lineups here. Number 7, a sophomore, Anna Nielsen. Number 25, a sophomore, Delaney Sullivan. A junior, number 26, Emma Getz. Number 15, Whitney, a junior. It's Whitney Hansen. Annabelle, a sophomore. Knockhazel, number 13. Number 12, Mason Morton. She's a freshman this year. On defense, we have number 20, senior, Haley Lytle. Number 8, Abby Copeland. That's a junior this year. 17, Mia Copeland, a junior. And a junior at number 10, Demi Stauffenberg. And playing the keeper today for the Tigers is Seneca Kale. For the opposing team today, we're playing with rosters today, so we have the correct roster. Number 2, we have Celia Hunter. Number 3, Zoe Crisp. Number 4, Natalie Dormelin. We also have number 10, Phoebe Alvarosa. Morgan Duckett at number 15. Number 17, Piper Lee. Number 23, Hannah Fries. Number 26, Taya McLennan. And number 33, Melissa Cussey. Right now, some action happening mostly in center field in the middle third. Tigers slipping it just through the legs of number 26. That's McLennan there. Kale will get a foot on it. Nice push there to number 15, Whitney Hansen. A really nice volley to start the game. Number 25 will take it all the way over. Sullivan getting it almost to the goal line, but the keeper will throw it back. Nice kick into number 26. Getz is going to take it back. .24 with a slide to get it away from the Tigers. That was Hills there for the Jackson team. Running it down the touchline and almost knocking it out. Number 2 going to get in. That's a goal for Zoe Crisp. From what I understand, a pretty fast start for a high school soccer game. Remember, these are 40-minute halves today. Traditionally 45-minute halves. Back in center circle. Starting off the rounds with Hansen. Out on Jackson's freeze. Heading back to the touchline here. Might be catching a breather after that really quick start to this first half. Jackson will get a head on it with McLennan. With a long kick, went a little too heavy on that one. Back to the keeper. Whistle blown. We see some Tigers clapping, so we know that's definitely in favor. That's Hansen with a nice kick to the middle third. It'll roll out and go back to Jackson. Jackson's Jormelin will throw it in. Nice kick over the top. Heading back to the defensive third for the Tigers. Kale trying to scope it out where she wants to throw that. She'll do a drop kick, making it to the middle third here. Hansen. She'll go from the touchline. Nice kick to the attacking third. That keeper's on top of it today. Cussie's down there. Got a nice kick over, but Tigers will grab it back. Oh, goodness. Nice defensive somersault. Cussie with a drop kick. Nice footwork from Jackson's Alvarosa. Kale to midfield. Jackson will get ahead on it. Going back to the touchline. Couldn't quite get back in. Crisp chasing it all the way through. We also want to make sure we thank all of our sponsors today for joining in on the Lander Soccer Crew. Thank you so much. Just to name a few, Lander Labs, Lander Medical Clinic, and of course, all of our other sponsors will be recognizing during the game as well. So make sure you tell them thank you as you head into those businesses. Jackson will tumble on that one. There's some finger pointing. It'll start off with Hills from the sideline for Jackson. Back to Lander. Copeland will throw that in. That's Mia Copeland, by the way. For those at home, there will be two Copelands playing, both Mia and Abby. Hills of Jackson will pass it over. Then a deep kick to middle field. Lots of play going on in the middle third today. Again, out on the touchline by Jackson, not letting him get back to the field. Point in case, take two. Jackson playing keep away, making some movement to the defensive third of the Tigers. Hunter will take a kick on it. Taking it back to the wing and out on that touchline. A high boot from Kale. Makes it over to Nielsen. Makes its way down the field. We're unable to keep control of it, though. Duckett passes over to McLennan. Morton's going to make a run for it near the wing. Freeze will be in control of the ball. Ooh, barely getting a foot on it with Jackson's number 8. That would be Copeland, Abby Copeland there. Number 33 putting a boot on it, almost too heavy. That would be Cussy. Whistles are going to be blown. Free kick across the field, making it to the attacking third. Jackson's going to get a foot on it. McLennan over to the side. Again to Lander. A nice slide. Oh, man. So Sullivan down there with a nice slide. Also Morton down there trying to keep that pressure on Jackson. There's going to be a corner kick. Coming in with Knockhazel. This could be good news for the Tigers if she can get it over to her teammates. A hard boot coming from Jackson. Going out on that touch line at the end there. Mule will be the one to take it in from the touch line. A nice kick, hitting inside that 18 yards. Nash will take it from that penalty box. A kick going just out of bounds. Tigers barely getting it away from Hunter as they're trying to play keep away in the center. .26 will kick it just beyond the Tigers, going in with McLennan there. Copeland will bring it in. That's Mia down there near the penalty box. Alva Rosa going down the sideline for Jackson. If you're wondering, that was our computer squawking at us. Dormelin going down the sideline, trying to get it just past Lander's defense. The throw in. Lander will get ahead on it and back out past the touchline. It's a foot race with Alva Rosa from Jackson putting on some wheels to catch up with the Tiger defense. Out on the goal line, Copeland will bring it back in. I can say never have I ever covered a sports broadcast where there was a pair of siblings on the team. So this is first for me. Abby will take it. Jackson will intercept just before it goes out of bounds. Hills will take it into the center third. Duckett making good footwork of the ball. Trying to keep the Lander offensive line out. Lander staying aggressive. Sullivan getting double teamed. And Lander kicks it out before Sullivan can get a foot on it. Out on number 24 of Jackson's teams, that's Hills. Hansen will take it in to the defensive third. Pressure building on the Jackson defensive line, Their goalie, or keeper, Nash, will take it back. Nice drop kick to the middle third. McLennan passing it right back to the midfield of Lander's Tigers. Getz making it down the field with a deep shot on goal. Oh, barely deflected. That was caught by Nash for the Jackson team. Nice drop kick from the penalty box. Out on Knockhazel of the Lady Tigers. Hansen playing great keep away. McLennan passing it back to Alva Rosa. Trying to throw it deep into the defensive third for the Jackson line. Shot on goal by Jackson's number 2. That was Hunter. Kicking it back out of the penalty box. Kale. Morton will bring it in. Right along the sideline and missed by Landers number 25. That's Sullivan. Just couldn't get a foot on it. She's shaking her head. Jackson's Jormelin will bring that in. Getting it back to their keeper. Nash putting it just where she wants it. McLennan trying to get it past Morton. And there was a bit of a change of schedule to the lineup for today. So just as a heads up, the boys will play at 6 p.m. We were going to do the broadcast continuously, but they've decided that the JV boys game will be directly after this game. But I'll tell you what, you couldn't pick a better day for soccer. It's 50 degrees, going to be 47 about the time the boys start to play, so you really can't complain too much. Duckett bringing it in for Jackson. A nice shove got the Lander midfielder out of the way. I lied. Sullivan actually plays forward, but she was doing great at trying to get a hold of that ball. Lots of pressure. Oh my goodness. It almost went over the top of Kale. She was able to get a hand on it, and she'll send it back. Hit almost the halfway line. McLennan keeping the pressure on near the sideline. Trying to get it out of Jackson's third. Slips it right through the feet. It'll go out on Jackson's number 4, Jormelin. A nice shove there. That was meant sarcastically, by the way. That was on Alvarosa. Mia Copeland getting ready to set up here. Nice kick to the defensive third. Jackson will get a head on it. Whistle's gonna blow. Referee says, hey, no, come back. Light will get it near the goal, but Nash will take it out. Whistles while Alvarosa has contact. Hill's looking to set up for what looks like it's going to be a deep kick. Put some power behind it. She tries to find number 36, which is Jimenez. Hill's passing it back into their defensive third. Duck it toward the sideline. Gets playing keep away, trying to make it past their defense. Sullivan going around into the wing, getting blocked out of it, going past the sideline. Jackson ball. Morton getting pretty heavy on offense, as she's listed as a midfielder, but she's getting it. Lytle with a kick to the sideline, trying to keep it out of Jackson's pressure. They have pretty intense pressure when they get into the attacking third. It's insane. Whistles will blow. See where they'll take it back to. Substitute. O'Connor coming in for Morton. There'll be a goal kick coming. Nice high kick from Kale. Jackson kicking it back, trying to avoid Getz, as she keeps that pressure pretty hard on their defensive line. Duckett tried to bring it in, not so much. We'll take two. Getting it to Crisp. With a shot on goal. Unsuccessful. Kale's going to get her hands on it, the keeper. Going to now do a drop kick. A shot on goal and successful. McLennan getting past the Tigers defense and making it happen. Lander 0, Jackson 2. About 12 minutes left in the game. In the first half, by the way. After that, we'll take a 15-minute halftime show. We'll recap a little bit of what's happened in the first half and update you on the rest of the schedule. You know, and the two teams are fairly equal with the amount of pressure they put on. Jackson just a little more successful once they get within that 18 yards. Mia kicking it out. Duckett with the throw in. Some nice sideline work. Sullivan. And this is where they start to put that pressure on. Back within the pressure zone. A shot on goal. Unsuccessful by Freeze of the Jackson team. Keeper will kick it. Making its way into the middle third. Hills handed it off to Crisp. Crisp is a little far back. Crisp to Hunter. Trying to keep it out of the sideline. Dormelin made a long stride. Wasn't able to make it. Hawkhazel will throw her the ball. Hansen will take it in. Throw into Copeland. Abby making sure to keep the defense on lock. Sullivan making her way down the field. Trying to get past the defense. Alvarosa will lose control. A deep pass into Freeze. And it'll go out of the sideline before she has a chance to get control. Abby throwing it in. Looks like, ooh, back out on the sideline. They'll blow it dead. Dormelin pacing the sideline, seeing where she wants to go. Into Crisp. Alvarosa making a shot on goal just through Kale's hands and luckily hit that post and bounced off. We'll chase it down. Flanagan from the Jackson team, making sure it went off the sideline. Hunter trying to get it through. Kale will pick it up. The keeper now doing a drop kick. If I had to say one person had the most shots on goal in the game, I would go with Hunter. A high kick there from Jackson. That'll be a free kick. Chasing it down. Kale, the keeper, coming out to narrow down those angles because they are a charging team. They are. A nice formation going by the Tigers, stopped by McLennan of Jackson. The ref checking on number 25, Sullivan. He'll whistle it back in play. One of the Copeland sisters, Abby, will throw it in. Jackson getting ahead on it. A deep kick from midfield, and it'll go dead on the sideline. O'Connor throwing it in. Hunter trying to get around Landers, number 7. Hunter driving it deep. She definitely has the theory that rather than going around them, she wants to go through the defensive line. Number 20 will go out. Kramer taking the bench for Jackson. Pressure's up in the wing. Lytle will kick it out to that sideline. Duckett with the toss in. A nice kick. Kale will get her hands on it. The keeper holding it down for the Lander Tigers team. Current score, 0-2. Jackson ahead. Just under 3 minutes to go in this half. Just as Freeze goes to throw it in, they whistle. Lander ball. Hanson with the throw in. Nice hacky sack style kick there from Landers Morton. Out on Lander at the sideline, Jackson's ball. Ducky waiting on a substitution. Coming in, we've got Vargas Ramirez. Hanson with a deep kick. Also, I missed a sub. Norse comes in for the forwards. Norse tries to get it away from Jormelin and is unsuccessful. Shot on goal. just over the hands of Kale, and she'll keep it out of that 6 yards. Duckett turn in the direction of the ball. Lander will find it, but not before it goes out on Demi Stauffenberg. And that's the first half of Lander soccer with the Lady Tigers. The score right now, 0-2 in favor of Jackson. We have a 15-minute halftime show coming your way, so stick around. We'll talk about some of the scores. Lots of shots on goal this first half, so we'll talk about that here in just a bit. Thank you for tuning in to Lander Tigers Soccer on WyoToday.com.
Attending college at Central Wyoming College's Alpine Science Institute is the perfect place to be during a pandemic. You can live in a cabin and be socially distanced in the beautiful foothills of the Wind River Mountains. The Alpine Science Institute is a multi-use educational and recreational center for degrees in outdoor education, outdoor recreation, environmental science, anthropology, and expedition science. Don't let a pandemic stop you from pursuing a degree that is full of adventure. Go to www.cwc.edu/alpinescience and make your way.
Central Bank and Trust is a proud supporter of Lander Valley Soccer. With 3 branches in Fremont County, their mission is to help develop Wyoming communities with Wyoming values. From opening your first checking account to taking out a loan for a new business venture, Central Bank and Trust is your local bank and lender. Central Bank and Trust brings top-of-the-line technologies to their customers with chipped debit cards, mobile deposit, QuickBooks integration for businesses, online bill pay, and more. Central Bank and Trust. It's more than a bank, it's a community. Visit centralbankandtrust.com. Good luck and go Tigers.
When you're looking for a great deal on a new or used car or truck, think Fremont Toyota. Shop over 1,000 vehicles from 12 manufacturers you know and love. Plus, they give you their best price up front, so you can be sure you're getting the best deal possible. And their state-of-the-art service facilities and expert technicians come with their 1-year hassle-free maintenance plan with all new vehicles. Fremont Toyota, they're your friends and neighbors and proud to sponsor Lander Valley High School Soccer. 103 Fremont Way in Lander. Visit FremontToyotaLander.com. Go Tigers! Does your car seem like it's feeling a little under the weather? Doesn't have that same get up and go or struggles to start in the mornings? Visit Lander Napa at 391 Main Street. Rick and the crew will help you get that car feeling brand new. They know the right parts and have the experience and Napa know-how to set you up for success on your repair job. So come see Rick and the team at 391 Main Street in Lander. Open Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m., Saturday, 8 to 5, and Sunday, 10 to 3. Lander Napa. Man, I'm hungry, but nothing sounds good, and I don't feel like cooking.
Let's go to Molino Italian Bistro. I've been dying to try their house-made pastas, spaghetti, linguine, fettuccine.
Okay, I'm in.
Ooh, and their chicken parmesan with zucchini noodles, seared beef tenderloin.
You had me at...
White truffle risotto, crab dip.
Sounds good, let's go.
Truffle fries, calamari. Hey, where are you going?
To Molino. Are you coming or what? Molino Italian Bistro. Sophisticated yet relaxed. Handmade fresh daily. 129 Main Street, Lander. Get a free appetizer with a dinner order for 2 Tuesday through Thursdays now through April 8th.
Attending college at Central Wyoming College's Alpine Science Institute is the perfect place to be during a pandemic. You can live in a cabin and be socially distanced in the beautiful foothills of the Wind River Mountains. The Alpine Science Institute is a multi-use educational and recreational center for degrees in outdoor education, outdoor recreation, environmental science, anthropology, and expedition science. Don't let a pandemic stop you from pursuing a degree that is full of adventure. Go to www.cwc.edu/alpinescience and make your way.
Central Bank and Trust is a proud supporter of Lander Valley Soccer. With 3 branches in Fremont County, their mission is to help develop Wyoming communities with Wyoming values. From opening your first checking account to taking out a loan for a new business venture, Central Bank and Trust is your local bank and lender. Central Bank and Trust brings top-of-the-line technologies to their customers with chipped debit cards, mobile deposit, QuickBooks integration for businesses, online bill pay, and more. Central Bank and Trust. It's more than a bank, it's a community. Visit centralbankandtrust.com. Good luck and go Tigers.
Welcome back to Lander Soccer here on wyotoday.com. You might be watching live on Facebook or on YouTube. I want to say hi and welcome you. Thanks for coming to the first game of the season. Yeah, this is fun. Jackson in a lead 2-0 against Lander. Oh, man. We're getting fancy with the camera here. Looking at, even though there's snow in the foothills, it's just gorgeous outside. Just below 50 degrees, sunny, no wind, knock on wood. And as you know, the schedule will change for today. Right after this game, the JV boys will play. It was originally set to where varsity would go directly after this one, but we're actually going to hold off on that till 6 o'clock, and we will have that live here as well for wyotoday.com. Hey, let's take a look at their schedule coming up. So Monday, that Monday game that was going to be in Lyman has been changed. So that will actually be hosted here in Lander. They have snow on the field over in Lyman. So fun fact, their JV will play at 2 against Jackson. 4 p.m. is when the varsity girls will play, and at 6 p.m. varsity boys will take on Lyman. After that, looking toward April, they'll play Powell on the 9th. That'll be an away game. And then that next day they'll actually have a away game, and then on the 10th they'll come back and they'll play Cody. Pinedale coming up on the 13th. That's a Tuesday game at 5 p.m. That's an away game. Hey, I'm packing up my bags. You bet. I'm covering all these. We're going to go to Riverton on the 20th, and there's nothing more that I like than a rivalry game. So, fun fact, for those of you who don't know me personally or maybe didn't go to school with me in Fremont County, I am a Lander graduate. So I have a little extra pride when Lander and Riverton face each other. I remember the days we'd pack up an entire suburban of kids and go over. All right. Also, they'll play Cody toward the end of April and Pinedale, and wrap it up again in Lyman toward the beginning of May. So just as a heads up, that's kind of where our schedule's rolling for the next couple of games. We're going to recap some of the first half and let you know where we're at here on the halftime show. Eric Polly might join me for a little bit. I've always wanted to sports broadcast with a nationally acclaimed sports broadcaster, but he has the plaque and everything. So, folks, I want to thank you so much. I want to thank our sponsors. I'll go through a couple of them here. Lander Labs, Lander Medical Clinic, Mulino. If you haven't had their pasta yet, you have to go try it. In fact, they have some specials that you'll hear about here in this broadcast. Not only that, all of our sponsors and community support means so much, not just to these kids, but also to us as well. So thank you. We're going to take a quick break and get back to it here on the wyotoday.com halftime show. Right back after this.
Attending college at Central Wyoming College's Alpine Science Institute is the perfect place to be during a pandemic. You can live in a cabin and be socially distanced in the beautiful foothills of the Wind River Mountains. The Alpine Science Institute is a multi-use educational and recreational center for degrees in outdoor education, outdoor recreation, environmental science, anthropology, and expedition science. Don't let a pandemic stop you from pursuing a degree that is full of adventure. Go to www.cwc.edu/alpinescience and make your way.
Central Bank and Trust is a proud supporter of Lander Valley Soccer. With 3 branches in Fremont County, their mission is to help develop Wyoming communities with Wyoming values. From opening your first checking account to taking out a loan for a new business venture, Central Bank and Trust is your local bank and lender. Central Bank and Trust brings top-of-the-line technologies to their customers with chipped debit cards, mobile deposit, QuickBooks integration for businesses, online bill pay, and more. Central Bank and Trust. It's more than a bank, it's a community. Visit centralbankandtrust.com. Good luck and go Tigers.
When you're looking for a great deal on a new or used car or truck, think Fremont Toyota. Shop over 1,000 vehicles from 12 manufacturers you know and love. Plus, they give you their best price up front, so you can be sure you're getting the best deal possible. And their state-of-the-art service facilities and expert technicians come with their 1-year hassle-free maintenance plan with all new vehicles. Fremont Toyota, they're your friends and neighbors and proud to sponsor Lander Valley High School soccer. 103 Fremont Way in Lander. Visit FremontToyotaLander.com. Go Tigers!
We're back here on Today.com coverage of Lady Tigers soccer. Getting going here, just a little bit past the start of the half. We took a short halftime show, but hey, that's good news for us. We get to see more soccer. Jackson taking control right off the bat. I welcome to the microphone Eric Polly, folks.
Hey, Rusty. Thanks for having me. We've never had an opportunity to actually call a soccer game before. So when I heard you were getting to do this, I got a little jealous and drove over here.
Okay. We've called bingo together, but never soccer.
Good times. Good times. I tell you, you couldn't ask for a more beautiful setting for a high school sports venue. You take a look around you, and I mean, you've got these beautiful mountains in the background and just a beautiful day here in Fremont County. It's quite the scene.
Lander feeling some pressure over there on the far sideline. It'll be blown dead. It'll be a throw-in.
Both teams still looking pretty fresh here, and don't really see anybody dragging around or anything like that. And good to see both teams in good condition here early in the season.
Out on Lander will be Jackson ball. Duckett with the throw in. They'll take it to their keeper. Taking it to Lee, who will lose it to Lander. Their offense getting some pressure on early in the top of this second half. Shot on goal missed.
Got a good look there, Rusty, and it's good to see the Lady Tigers applying some pressure against the Jackson Lady Bronx here. The Jackson always throws me off because there's some teams that go when they're Bronx, they're either Bronx, Lady Bronx, or Phillies. So it's the Jackson Lady Bronx here. But Lander's going to have to apply that pressure to come back down 2-0 here in this one.
Nash going for a kick just before the middle third. Return to the keeper early on. He'll go past the goal line. Nash will set it down in the penalty box. Scope out the field. A lower kick than we've seen her return with before. Stauffenberg will stop that action. Taking control of it will be Hansen. And out, and a foul called.
Ooh.
That was a little rough.
A little push and shove action taking place here. And, you know, soccer has a reputation amongst those who don't know it as a non-physical sport, and that couldn't be further from the truth. There's a lot of contact that happens in this sport.
Everything from intentional fouls to unintentional fouls. Dormelin will take it downfield. Getz will take it. Send it to the sideline. the attitude coming out of halftime has definitely changed. A little more intensity in their steps.
Watching what I did from that first half, Rusty, the time spent on each other's side of the field was relatively equal, but the number of attacks and shots on goal that Jackson had far exceeded Lander. So they're going to have to find a way to create some space and get some opportunities to get those shots on goals themselves.
McLennan making her way through the defense of Lander Tigers. Hansen getting a boot on it, sending it back to midfield. It'll go out on Jackson's Hills. Meal will throw it back in. Back in the hands of Jackson. Should probably start keeping a tally of how many throw-ins we're going to have this game. They're keeping tight pressure on the outside. Dormelin, a deep boot. It'll go out. Lander ball. Mia Copeland will take that one back in.
Lander really feeling the pressure right now from Jackson, just in the sense that they are playing the majority of the second half thus far on the Lander side of the field.
Knockhazel trying to get in there past Dormelin. Getz will chase down that ball as Jackson, little collision there, is now blown dead by the refs.
Neither program so far today really taking advantage of those free kicks. They've swapped sides of the field with them, but most of the penalties that have led to those free kicks haven't really been in striking distance, so it's really just been about field position.
Abby Copeland will throw it back in. A short toss from the sideline. Blown dead, Jackson ball. They're trying to sneak one of their offense players past the three near the sideline of the Lander Lady Tigers.
You could see the back line there for Lander set for that onside trap, but here comes a couple of speedy players here from Jackson.
Deflection. There'll be a foul. A handball.
Lander setting up the wall here.
Ball will be in the hands of number 2 for Jackson. That's Hunter. She has several shots on goal already. Fierce competitor. It was a field goal if that helps, but doesn't quite help them where they're sitting right now.
She's got a little bit too much on that, but that's really the first set free kick that we've seen today. Like we were talking about just a moment ago, they really haven't had the opportunity to do a set kick like that because they've been too far away with where these penalties have happened. So anytime something like that happens, I mean, that's a danger zone for Lander, but they come out of that one unscathed.
Mia will bring the ball in from the penalty box. Jamelin will get her head on it, and it'll go out of the sideline. Being brought back in by Knockhazel. Trying to gain some speed toward the attacking third, but it'll be kicked out by Hills of the Jackson team. Hansen brings it in. She'll get it back near the sideline, through her legs, and out the sideline yet again. Nice air ball by Getz. Trying to get it past the keeper, and a shot on goal, and it's in for Getz. Oh, that's one way to pick up a ball game.
Good to see the Lady Tigers strike early here in the second half, and there's a lot of time left on this clock. It's just a 1-point contest, and 30 minutes remain here in the second half.
Jackson's keeper set it up for a
Or do
boot
they not
here.
count that?
It has it on the board up there.
Well, I don't know. No, that didn't count. That's still in play. We'll have to see if they adjust the score any, but
Oh, yep, someone's walking over, giving him a big old zip.
yep. Must have been offsides.
Well, that's one way to deflate some inertia there.
Well, they had us all fooled.
I got really excited for a second. Sorry, folks. Score currently 2-0. Jackson in the lead. Tough pressure. Hunter from Jackson's team, she can be a real tricky one to try to get the ball around. It'll go out. Sullivan chasing it down. Cussy with a side kick. Just barely go out of the sideline. Lee tried to save it. Not so much. Hansen will throw in. Trying to side out. Sullivan couldn't quite get away from Dormelin. Dormelin with the throw in from the touchline. Lander will get a foot on it. Sullivan kicks it to midfield. Jackson will take back over. When in doubt, boot it out. You know, sometimes you just got to do what works. Abby Copeland keeping them from getting their entire team on that pressure near the penalty zone. The play only gets rougher. Hunter with a shot on goal, unsuccessful. Keeper has a hand on it, will boot it out. Out on Jackson. Mia with the Lady Tigers will bring it back in. She's done chasing that ball down.
Jackson playing with just two defenders now, Rusty, and they've really pushed everybody else up to try and keep pressure here on the Lander side of the field. So if Lander's able to, get it past midfield, they should have numbers here. It could turn into another scoring opportunity for them if they can stay on sides this time.
A boot to what seemed like no one coming from Knockhazel. Getting it farther down the field, though, which helps when they only have two defenders. Shot on goal unsuccessful, coming from Getz. They had a little taste of a goal, and they want it back. A light rolling kick coming from the Jackson keeper. Sullivan get back to it, gets pushed off. Back in from Copeland. Mia getting it back in the game. Conflict there. It'll get blown dead.
A little bit of a shove there.
Be a free kick. Can't do that in soccer. Mia will kick it far to the attacking third for the Tigers. Knockhazel in control. Passes it back to the Jackson defensive line. See who they'll call it out on here. Morton will get the ball. Up and over with Getz putting a head on it. Freeze will miss a kick, and it'll roll out of the sideline. Mia bringing in the ball, about midfield. McLennan will take the ball, start working their way back to the defensive third of the Tigers. Shot on goal, unsuccessful. Kale was able to get a foot on it, kicked out later by Copeland. Mia Copeland got that out before they could get too much pressure in.
That was a big time save.
That was.
It'll build your confidence as a keeper there. You get a couple of those, and I'll tell you, there are a few things scarier in sports than seeing a one-on-one come your way as a goalkeeper. That's the only thing I can. It's not the same as being a pitcher on the mound, but it's really a
high pressure situation.
It is. It's everything depends on you.
Jormelin will bring that in. Up and over.
Wow.
Oh, man. Mia's throwing her arms out like, what?
That was a highly skilled play she just made there by tipping it up to herself and then kicking the cross. Unfortunately, or I guess fortunately for Lander, there was nobody from Jackson crossing there, but that was a high skill play.
Abby Copeland now setting up inside the 18. Kick making its way over to Getz. Getz will boot it down the field. Trying to chase it down is Knockhazel. And then out on a head by Getz. Freeze bringing it back in with a throw in. Trying to sneak down the sideline and into the wing of the Lander Tigers. You know it's Wyoming when you have to dig a soccer ball out of the snow.
They did a good job getting the field clean here.
Beautiful field. Hasn't been used a whole lot thanks to the pandemic.
This is the first time that these Lady Tigers will be playing a soccer game on this field because the season got canceled around this time last year due to the pandemic.
Freeze with the throw in. A collision. The whistle will not blow. Looks clean. Gets passing it down. Sullivan will try to get it away. Dormelin with the boot out. A high kick with a collision. That did not look like it felt good. That went hard on Hansen. Brushes it off, comes back up. I have to say, nice recovery on her part. Mia Copeland getting it back. Knockhazel getting it away from Jackson, able to volley that.
These Jackson midfielders really close gaps quickly. The moment Lander looks like they have a little bit of breathing room to dribble and maybe split the defense, they're collapsed on very quickly. There's some athletes out there for the Lady Bronx.
Dormelin will have the free kick. Serves it deep right to one of the Lady Tigers. Hansen will get that away. Back to the pressure. The one thing I have to say about the Tigers, they have great communication when it comes to saying, hey, this is where you need to be when it comes to the 18 yards.
Yeah, they're talking well. Defensively, those 4 defenders back there along with the keeper have been busy all day, and the 2-0 scoreboard doesn't reflect the effort they've put in so far.
Freeze coming in with a corner kick. This could be crunch time for the Lady Tigers. Up, ahead on it by, couldn't quite see who that was there, but thank goodness for it. That was by Knockhazel, I believe. Being brought back in by Duckett. Boot over to Freeze. Back in the possession of the Tigers, making its way down the field with Hansen. Heavy pressure on Nielsen in the attacking third. Go past the goal line. Chased down by Nash.
Well, it comes out another goal kick here for Jackson, but it's good to see Lander getting some pressure anyway on the Jackson side of the field.
She'll change sides, reposition. She's getting picky. But that's what wins you ball games. Deflected by Getz, who chases it back down the field. The ball will catch some air. Heavy competition between Sullivan and Crisp on the field.
Some extracurriculars after going to the ground there for Lander. They attempted to make it a play on the ball while they were already on the ground, and that's why they got the whistle there.
Crisp will take it out. Blocked by Hansen. Making some headway. Ooh, a nice deflection there by Copeland. Mia getting a foot on the ball. Hunter got cut off by Hansen. Back to Jormelin and to Freeze. They're weaving through the Lander defense, trying to find an opening. Morton bringing the ball back in. Getting back to Freeze. Alvarosa trying to make some footwork to get past. Alvarosa will let it roll out. Recollect. It'll be blown.
Substitution.
Freeze will bring the ball back in from the touchline. Making its way to Hunter. Alvarosa trying to keep that triangle alive. A nice takeaway. That was Stauffenberg getting a nice foot on it. Freeze getting into the 18. Coming around, saved. Nice stuff going on with Stauffenberg. Jormelin over the head of Sullivan. They're going to get a kick.
Well, Lander playing aggressively on defense, which, I mean, they're just matching the play of Jackson right now and get the whistle there. They'll have to set the wall up and hopefully come away unscathed here as they try to cross it into the mid.
McLennan with the kick to the side, trying to get an indirect score. It'll roll back to the center circle. Hills almost let the ball get away from her. Dormelin trying to make her way out of that center third. With a nice boot almost out of the stadium by Lander's Lytle. In from the sideline. Being chased down by Freeze of Jackson. Now, Kale's going to do a great job. She's done this so far in the game of trying to narrow down the angles when they're trying to charge in for that goal. Coming in from Freeze of Jackson. And the kick will end up with the ball rolling out of the goal line.
Looks like it'll be another corner kick, and we'll move from one side to the other here.
It's a lot of pressure coming on into your defensive area. Freeze with the kick. Coming into Hunter and taken out. They'll be kicked out of play by Lander. Not completely getting Jackson out of their defensive zone, but certainly trying. A toss will go in. Back in the hands of Lander. Mia Copeland on the sideline. Overhand pass to Hansen. And out again on Freeze of Jackson's offensive line.
The pressure here from the Lady Bronx starting to wear on Lander just a bit here. And Jackson perfectly happy to let the tempo stay where it's at with about 11 minutes left here in this one.
Swapping out on the sideline. Hansen will toss in. Jackson will get a shoulder on it. McLennan sending it back out. Hansen with a toss in. It'll meet Freeze, who will then put it back out of bounds. It's the first time we've seen the ball head back to the attacking third of the Tigers for a hot second. Crisp will start taking it down the field. She'll meet Hunter. Hunter struggling to get it past Morton of the Tigers. Dormelin, she'll go with a far kick and hit the referee, which also it's one of those things that stops the game. Sometimes you just can't jump fast enough.
I'd say no harm, no foul, but no harm and a free
yes.
kick.
Hunter will take that ball and head downfield with it. Lots of pressure down with the Lander defense. It'll go into McLennan. Crisp coming back. Met by it seems there's a number I might not have. There we go. They used a person that wasn't on their starters for number 27 snuck in on me. Ashlyn Cook. A free kick coming from Mia, one of the Copeland sisters. Met my Jarmelin of Jackson. Quickly making the way back down the field. Alva Rosa. She'll speed up to catch it in the wing. Making her way to the 18. Hunter had it stolen away from her. Both teams doing a great job of trying to keep that gameplay mostly in the center field. They'll be blown dead.
I have an injury on the field here. I don't think we'll be headed for too much stoppage time in this one, Russ. You haven't had a whole lot of well, one, we haven't lost the ball behind the snowdrifts that much here today, but I haven't had any injuries until now. And, right now the score 2-0. The Jackson Lady Bronx here, I wouldn't say that their play has been dominant, but they've been able to make the most out of their scoring opportunities so far today.
They'll walk, not Nielsen, Sullivan off the field. She was met out there by Coach Abilio Montero. A deep kick to resume play and a shot on goal. Not quite there. Gets lining up to take a kick. The free kick by Getz. Up and over, and unfortunately went a little too high for the goal's liking.
That one went over the snowdrift.
Those are extra points. Jackson's keeper, Nash, trying to set up what she believes is her best play. Kicking it to the side to Jarmelin.
Jackson's kind of playing the rope-a-dope a little bit here. They're just burning clock, and that's why you saw them just kind of playing it back here between the keeper and the defenders, and they're just burning time right now.
Jarmelin will kick it out of the sideline. Lander ball in by Mia Copeland. Knockhazel with a kick over to Jackson. Not sure what to do with it. And like you said, Eric, they're just trying to burn time. stolen away. A nice kick. And a shot on goal. That was by Landers Nielsen. Stauffenberg with control of the ball. She'll kick it over to Knockhazel, who will lose control to Jarmelin. Boot back to Freeze. This is one person that just knows how to move the ball. Hunter can weave, so to speak. Back to Hunter. A deep boot over to Freeze. Mia got a kick on that. Helped change the direction a little bit, but still went out of bounds. Freeze with the toss. Up and over. Freeze back to the line. Mia waiting for her. Vargas Ramirez on pretty close coverage. Freeze to McLennan. McLennan's going to try to take it down the middle with a shot on goal, and it's kept out by the keeper. Oh, and tripped over Landers' keeper. A deep boot from Kale. Taking the ball away there was Crisp. Crowd's getting amped up. They're playing keep away. That's from Morton of the Lander team. Heavy coverage by Lander. Can't quite get a hold of Flanagan on the Jackson team, but circling in on that penalty box. A deep kick hits the post and is deflected for that shot on goal. Kale almost looks relieved. She was about half a foot away.
Well, Jackson hasn't called off the dogs yet. They're
Duck it with the toss. Out on Crisp of Jackson. Substitution. Lyda will head out. Coming into the game, Balderston, excuse me. Back in from Freeze. Meets Morton, who will kick it over to Knockhazel. Lander starting to take control. Boots it to the attacking third. Being chased down by Sullivan. Glad to see she's feeling better. Down the sideline. It heads over to Hunter. Hunter to McLennan. To the penalty box. And charging forward is Kale. Goal kick. Knockhazel over. Running it down now. Possible chance of a score and up and over. That was one of those you hold your breath moments for Getz.
Yeah, it's the best look they've had all day. Other than the one that actually went in the net, but they were offsides. But that was the best look they've had all day.
It was so close. Jackson keeper Nash setting up the kick. Looks like it's going to go right over to Jarmelin. It's a minute 46 left in the game. This is the second half of play, so we'll wrap up at that and do our WildToday.com post-game show. Kicked out on Jackson. Chasing it down is Hansen. Thrown by Hansen. Head on it by Getz. It's a struggle to get it past the Jackson defense. Hills will kick it out. Head to McLennan. McLennan over to Vargas Ramirez. Chris making her way down the field to freeze is intercepted, so to speak. That was by Copeland. Mia Copeland of the sisters. Jarmelin with the throw in. Goes to McLennan and out. That throw in will go from Hansen and be taken on control-wise by Jackson, stolen back. It's a power struggle right now between Jackson and Lander. A deep kick over to the corner, making way toward the 18 yards that Lander's trying to keep him out of. And unfortunately, that is the end of the game, folks. We're going to come back with your post-game show. Final score currently, well, it's not changing. Jackson 2, Lander Tigers 0. I want to thank you for watching. Come back because we have our post-game show. We'll recap some of the scores and see where we're at schedule-wise because that boys game has been moved to 6 o'clock. We'll talk about that here on WyoTodays.com.
Attending college at Central Wyoming College's Alpine Science Institute is the perfect place to be during a pandemic. You can live in a cabin and be socially distanced in the beautiful foothills of the Wind River Mountains. The Alpine Science Institute is a multi-use educational and recreational center for degrees in outdoor education, outdoor recreation, environmental science, anthropology, and expedition science. Don't let a pandemic stop you from pursuing a degree that is full of adventure. Go to www.cwc.edu/alpinescience and make your way.
Central Bank and Trust is a proud supporter of Lander Valley Soccer. With 3 branches in Fremont County, their mission is to help develop Wyoming communities with Wyoming values. From opening your first checking account to taking out a loan for a new business venture, Central Bank and Trust is your local bank and lender. Central Bank and Trust brings top-of-the-line technologies to their customers with chipped debit cards, mobile deposit, QuickBooks integration for businesses, online bill pay, and more. Central Bank and Trust. It's more than a bank, it's a community. Visit centralbankandtrust.com. Good luck and go Tigers.
When you're looking for a great deal on a new or used car or truck, think Fremont Toyota. Shop over 1,000 vehicles from 12 manufacturers you know and love. Plus, they give you their best price up front, so you can be sure you're getting the best deal possible. And their state-of-the-art service facilities and expert technicians come with their 1-year hassle-free maintenance plan with all new vehicles. Fremont Toyota, they're your friends and neighbors and proud to sponsor Lander Valley High School soccer. 103 Fremont Way in Lander. Visit FremontToyotaLander.com. Go Tigers! Does your car seem like it's feeling a little under the weather? Doesn't have that same get up and go or struggles to start in the mornings? Visit Lander Napa at 391 Main Street. Rick and the crew will help you get that car feeling brand new. They know the right parts and have the experience and Napa know-how to set you up for success on your repair job. So come see Rick and the team at 391 Main Street in Lander. Open Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m., Saturday, 8 to 5, and Sunday, 10 to 3. Lander Napa. Man, I'm hungry, but nothing sounds good, and I don't feel like cooking.
Let's go to Molino Italian Bistro. I've been dying to try their house-made pastas, spaghetti, linguine, fettuccine.
Okay, I'm in.
Ooh, and their chicken parmesan with zucchini noodles, seared beef tenderloin.
You had me at...
White truffle risotto, crab dip.
Sounds good, let's go.
Truffle fries, calamari. Hey, where are you going?
To Molino. Are you coming or what? Molino Italian Bistro. Sophisticated yet relaxed. Handmade fresh daily. 129 Main Street, Lander. Get a free appetizer with a dinner order for two, Tuesday through Thursdays, now through April 8th.
Attending college at Central Wyoming College's Alpine Science Institute is the perfect place to be during a pandemic. You can live in a cabin and be socially distanced in the beautiful foothills of the Wind River Mountains. The Alpine Science Institute is a multi-use educational and recreational center for degrees in outdoor education, outdoor recreation, environmental science, anthropology, and expedition science. Don't let a pandemic stop you from pursuing a degree that is full of adventure. Go to www.cwc.edu/alpinescience and make your way.
Central Bank and Trust is a proud supporter of Lander Valley Soccer. With 3 branches in Fremont County, their mission is to help develop Wyoming communities with Wyoming values. From opening your first checking account to taking out a loan for a new business venture, Central Bank and Trust is your local bank and lender. Central Bank and Trust brings top-of-the-line technologies to their customers with chipped debit cards, mobile deposit, QuickBooks integration for businesses, online bill pay, and more. Central Bank and Trust. It's more than a bank, it's a community. Visit centralbankandtrust.com. Good luck and go Tigers.
We're back here on the post-game show. Thank you for joining us for Lander Lady Tigers soccer. It's one of the first of many, and I can't wait to see where we go from here. We're going to do a quick recap. Not a whole heck of a lot in the way of scoring. Lots of shots on goal. Two of the, I want to say foremost, shots on goal folks of the game. Celia Hunter and Zoe Crisp. 8 minutes into the first, Zoe Crisp scored, and then the second score was just before the half, about 22 minutes in, and that was scored by Celia Hunter. Now, when it comes to the game, you have to sit back and realize that they changed positions toward the end of the second half. So Jackson, foremost, had a lot of offensive players on the field and just packed that right on to the Lander defense and kept most of the gameplay in that defensive third. So something to keep an eye on as the season progresses. There's a ton of games scheduled, so we're going to go through those. Of course, Monday has changed, so keep that in mind. Lyman is no longer an away game. That will now be home because there's so much snow on the field. And while there is snow here, it's about 59 degrees. It's only looking better as the games go on today. So taking a look at our schedule, after Lyman, which is Monday, that'll start at 3. And let's see, I think actually that changed too. So JV is going to be at 2 on Monday. They're going to host Lyman. 4 o'clock will be varsity girls, and 6 p.m. will be varsity boys. We'll also have that coverage right here on wyotoday.com. Powell is going to play against Lander on the 9th. That'll be an away game. Taking a look at the 10th, they're going to come right back and play Cody. And then in the further weeks, let's see, we have Pinedale, Warland, and Riverton, which you know me, I love a rivalry game. So thank you so much for joining. We're going to take a quick break, hear from some of our great sponsors. If you have a chance, go support these sponsors because they're the reason we can cover the games. So thank you. We're going to do that and then come back at you with the player of the game.
Attending college at Central Wyoming College's Alpine Science Institute is the perfect place to be during a pandemic. You can live in a cabin and be socially distanced in the beautiful foothills of the Wind River Mountains. The Alpine Science Institute is a multi-use educational and recreational center for degrees in outdoor education, outdoor recreation, environmental science, anthropology, and expedition science. Don't let a pandemic stop you from pursuing a degree that is full of adventure. Go to www.cwc.edu/alpinescience and make your way.
Central Bank and Trust is a proud supporter of Lander Valley Soccer. With 3 branches in Fremont County, their mission is to help develop Wyoming communities with Wyoming values. From opening your first checking account to taking out a loan for a new business venture, Central Bank and Trust is your local bank and lender. Central Bank and Trust brings top-of-the-line technologies to their customers with chipped debit cards, mobile deposit, QuickBooks integration for businesses, online bill pay, and more. Central Bank and Trust. It's more than a bank, it's a community. Visit centralbankandtrust.com. Good luck and go Tigers.
When you're looking for a great deal on a new or used car or truck, think Fremont Toyota. Shop over 1,000 vehicles from 12 manufacturers you know and love. Plus, they give you their best price up front, so you can be sure you're getting the best deal possible. And their state-of-the-art service facilities and expert technicians come with their 1-year hassle-free maintenance plan with all new vehicles. Fremont Toyota, they're your friends and neighbors and proud to sponsor Lander Valley High School soccer. 103 Fremont Way in Lander. Visit FremontToyotaLander.com. Go Tigers!
And we're back here on the post-game show for your coverage of the Lady Tigers soccer game. Unfortunately, the Tigers fell in a loss 2-0 against Jackson. So, definitely it's something to work on for this season. But right now we're going to focus on the player of the game. And although the Lander team as a whole might have fallen a little bit short, I want to tell you that Mia Copeland did fantastic in this game. So she kept up the high energy and the coverage, and because of that, we've chosen her as the WyoToday.com player of the game. So congrats. We'll be covering all of the games this season, and I can't wait to travel along with the team and see what happens there. The schedule has changed, so I'm not going directly into the varsity boys game. They've decided to do JV next, and as you might see on your screen there, they're starting to warm up. So we're going to do that, and then we'll be back live here on WyoToday.com, and we'll have that coverage. And I want to thank you. Have never done soccer before. I've done other sports, and I love soccer. I haven't called it. So thank you for giving me my first experience. And like all things in soccer, it will get better as the season goes on. So thank you so much, and we'll see you at 6 o'clock right here on WyoToday.com.
Attending college at Central Wyoming College's Alpine Science Institute is the perfect place to be during a pandemic. You can live in a cabin and be socially distanced in the beautiful foothills of the Wind River Mountains. The Alpine Science Institute is a multi-use educational and recreational center for degrees in outdoor education, outdoor recreation, environmental science, anthropology, and expedition science. Don't let a pandemic stop you from pursuing a degree that is full of adventure. Go to www.cwc.edu/alpinescience and make your way